Speaking of homes,
we're phase 3 today. So I know in the real estate market, it's changed a few things. Open houses are back. I was actually speaking to a realtor friend yesterday who stated that I guess on some of the boards, there's some efficacy issues, or people are concerned that maybe you shouldn't be promoting open houses yet as a real estate agent. Have you heard anything like that, Greg, or what's going on at BP with open houses?
It's back in business. It's one of those things that, it's at your discretion, at your client's discretion as well. I, for one, am not a fan. I don't think they should be happening, just because it's not the same kind of flow as what it would be. I just think that there'll be just a little lack of. I just think the communication will be different after everything we've been through. I think they should have given it another few months. But I do know there are some agents who, they run very good businesses off of open houses, and their business diminished when the pandemic started because of that. So, if they want to do it, they can. I can't imagine that anyone's going to be rushing out, especially since we're kind of coming into, or we've started more of a traditional summer market for the first time in 3 years. But we'll see. I mean, if anyone wants to do it, we've got all with Blue Panda, we've got all our signs, making sure that everybody follows the rules when they're in the open house. And I think any agent that does it now will be doing it with there'll be two agents doing it, so that one can monitor how many people are in the house at once. And
so is it going to be, is it still actually, can you walk in, or do you still have to book an appointment, schedule time? Okay.
No, so it's open door.
Okay.
Yeah. When it was open last time, what happened is someone would act like a bouncer, and, you'd take down the information.
Big stuff at the door.
That's true. It's true. Right. So you take down their information, and then one group comes out and then the other group comes in. So, I mean, it could still happen, but it's just, it's a system that you have to have in place. Anyways, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it affects the market in general, because we've talked about it a few times, but newer agents who had never had to write a condition on an offer are probably open houses. They might have never even been a part of an open house, right? If they were licensed in the last couple of years. So it'd be interesting to see. Typically, agents would go with their clients to an open house, correct?
No, not necessarily. Open house is for guys, there's
window
a lot of open houses on Sunday. And it's like, if you want to go see the area, go have a look, and to just let them know that I'm working with you, and they'll leave you alone.
I think you said it, Paul. A lot of the agents that have come on board in the last 2 years, they haven't had to do open houses. They also haven't had to do conditions. And I know we were talking about it before last week and previous weeks. You talked about it, that it's one of those things for new agents. Now that there are conditions, it is it's balancing out a little bit, which is nice to see. And you're starting to see those conditions put in. It'll be funny to see how many new agents don't actually even know how to write a condition or know how to even structure their conditions accordingly in their offers.
The main thing for me, I signed 3 conditional offers in the last week and a half. 2 of them were multiple offers that we won with conditions. So that's something that everybody needs to be aware of. I think the biggest issue is going to be new agents out, and whether there is an offer or not, being uncertain of if the offer will get accepted with or without conditions, and not knowing how to present that to the listing agent.
Or actually negotiating
the list. Yeah. Or having the listing agent being like, we want an unconditional offer. And then them being like, okay, because that's what they're used to. Although, I had one strategy I did on this one. Actually, we won it yesterday. So, being in the business long enough, I went in and it had, we were the only ones. We were 20,000 under list. Another offer came in. And we eliminated the financing condition because we knew that we didn't really need it. The financing was secure. And then even though we were still in multiple offers, I had a feeling that, I was like, this is a good price for the house. And then I called my inspector and I booked a condition for 2 days. That was it. And I talked to the agent. I said, look, this is our top offer. We've got an inspection booked for 2 days. That's it. See what your guy wants to do. And we got it. So the other one was obviously a little bit old, a bit under, and it may have had also a financing condition. So you just got to know how to navigate it and what to do. And if you're a new agent and you need help and you're unsure, like make sure that you have somebody to talk to. Mm-hmm. So you can, be informed when you're in a situation like this and that you're best representing your client. Because if you're just going in, like, you don't really need to go all in anymore unless it's a spectacular home, which we're also seeing right now on some. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
And it minimizes the agent's risk too, right? Like there's a lot of risk involved, especially in the verbiage used to a client of that recommendation of going in unconditional. There's a lot of risk involved there as well, right? On the agent side.
Yeah.
Because it can be, if it's positioned incorrectly or if it's pressed upon, then it's kind of the liabilities on them. If something were to go wrong. So kind of knowing when to include those conditions, I think is valuable for protecting everyone, not just your buyer, but the agent themselves, right?
Yeah. I mean, and you really got to know your buyer. Like you really got to know, why they're doing this, what they're trying to get, what their ambitions are, and what their status is. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, if they've done it before and they're all in, then they're all in. We have a document that we can get clients to sign off on saying that they agreed to waive and that we're not liable. And then if they're fresh, like the ones I was with this week, we just went in with conditions and we got it, just because I knew how to navigate happily. Yeah. Couldn't believe it. It was amazing. We were so shocked. Even the inspectors were shocked just meeting the inspectors. Yeah. They're like, hey man,
he's got a huge Grizzly Adams beard and long hair. Yeah. Hey, I just came from my basement. Haven't done an inspection in 3 years.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, like, there's one that I'm getting done today, and the house, as far as I'm concerned, based on, how many I've done in the last year and a half, like I was like, this doesn't need an inspection at all. This house is like perfect. But it was still like, they're first timers. I'm like, I think we can get an inspection. Would that make you feel better? They're like, absolutely, please. I'm like, great. Got it. Mm-hmm.
Are you still doing pre-inspections, Greg? Is it the big stuff stamp? Are you still doing those on?
It is, yeah. For any, yeah. And I'm a little pissed at agents that aren't doing it, especially on older homes. Like I've been seeing some older properties with clients and they don't have a pre-inspection, and it's just nonsense. Like if your client doesn't want to pay for it, just pay for it. You're going to sell the house, $600. I mean, it's just a service I think that everybody should be doing for their seller and for the buyers. Especially if you're waiting for offers, I would say
it also makes the process less stressful too, whether you're waiting for offers or not. But knowing ahead of time what issues are in the home that you can address before listing, or that you're aware of, so that this might be pushback, kind of gives that seller the relief or the knowledge that, okay, I know my house isn't there isn't something structurally wrong that is going to sewer this deal or this sale. And for the agent as well, they know that ahead of time and know what to be prepared with, right?